You walk every day? Then why are your legs getting weaker without you noticing? I am Dr. Noah Jupe, a physiotherapist living in Yorkshire, UK. My daily job is to help people who think that just walking every day is enough to stay healthy, to realize that the human body, especially after the age of 60, needs much more than that. One winter morning, I visited Mr. Bernard, 72 years old, who always prides himself on not missing a single day of walking in 10 years. Rain, wind, or frost, he still regularly walks around the park near his house. But one day, after tripping on the carpet in the living room, he fell and could not stand up by himself. His heart was still strong, his lungs were still good, but his legs could no longer support his body. I remember the look in his eyes when he said,
"Doctor, I walk every day. Why is this happening to me?"
"That question has been bothering me. Many people in the UK and around the world believe that walking is the panacea for old age. In fact, walking is just part of the health story, not all. Science has proven that after the age of 50, the body begins to lose 1–2% of muscle mass each year. This phenomenon is called sarcopenia, muscle atrophy due to age. Walking keeps the heart healthy and the mind relaxed, but it's insufficient to activate deep muscle fibers, the muscle groups responsible for balance, standing up, sitting down, and protecting joints. Simply put, walking is like you water the leaves, but forgot tree roots is drying out underneath. That's why many people who walk regularly find themselves getting weaker, have more back pain, or lose their balance when going upstairs. I remember Mrs. Mary, 68, my patient in Leeds. She came in with a confident smile. "I walk every day, doctor, for an hour." But when I checked her bone density, I realized that she was losing a lot of weight. The muscles around her knees were so weak that they could no longer hold the joint steady. It wasn't that she was lazy, it was that she just moves in a monotonous way. When the body is not challenged by resistance, depth of motion, or core activation exercises, the nervous system and muscles gradually fall asleep. And when falling, protective reflexes are no longer as fast as before. So I often tell my patients, walking is an appetizer, not a meal. The body needs to practice controlled, safe movements. Butha's the ability to stimulate strength, balance, and joint stability. With just 10–15 minutes a day, you can reverse muscle weakness and regain your confidence in moving. In the clinic, I have seen miraculous changes in just a few weeks. People who used to be afraid to climb stairs now walk steadily. People who used to have to hold onto a chair when standing up can now do it on their own. The reality in the UK today shows that more than 40% of people over 65 have had fall at least once a year. And the leading cause is not heart disease or weak bones, but because the body no longer has enough strength to control movements. The good news is that this is completely reversible. If you're in your 50 seconds or just feeling less flexible than you used to, now's the time to get back on track. No equipment, no gym membership required, with just a few simple medical moves I'm about to share. You can regain muscle strength, improve circulation, and most importantly, regain your independence. Imagine being able to rise effortlessly from a chair, walk confidently upstairs, and wake up without feeling heavy in your back and legs. That's not a dream. That's what I've seen in hundreds of my patients, all thanks to a simple, gentle, and consistent exercise routine. So, if you're wondering where to start, let me show you. In the next section, I will guide you. First exercise is known as the pump of life, capable of restoring circulation and awakening muscles in just a few minutes. Now follow, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Who wants to know more? Leave comment number 1. That morning, when I returned to visit Mr. Bernard, he said to me with a half-believing smile, "Doctor, my legs are so weak. Is there any way to improve them without going to the gym?" I said, "Yes, and we'll start with the body's most important exercise, the rowing machine. Pump of life. I say so because muscles in the calves of our hands do more than just help us walk. They are auxiliary pump of the heart. Every time you stand on your tiptoes or flex your ankles, these muscles contract and push blood from your feet back up to your heart against gravity. But when we sit for long periods of time or just walk lightly, this pump gradually becomes lazy, causing poor circulation, heavy legs, swelling, and even varicose veins. So the first exercise I always teach my patients is calf activation. It is simple, safe, and extremely effective, especially for people over 60. You can do it right in your living room, no tools needed, just a chair or a sturdy wall to hold on to. The way to do it is very simple. Stand up straight, feet parallel, hands lightly placed on the back of a chair or wall. Take a deep breath, then slowly tiptoe. Keep the highest position in 2 seconds. Feel a gentle stretch in the back of your calf. Then lower your heels slowly, continuing raise your toe, stretch the front muscles. Repeat this 15 to 20 times, and don't forget breathe regularly. As you practice, you will feel a warm current running down your legs that is blood circulation returns, the best sign that you are waking up your circulatory system. I remember Mrs. Helen, 70 years old, used to have swollen feet every evening. She complained that even though she walked every day, her feet were still heavy as lead at night. I showed her this exercise and told her, do it 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, even while watching TV. 2 weeks later, she returned, smiling. Doctor, I no longer feel numb or swollen. Now my legs feel like they have life again. That's when I knew I was helping her recover. Biological pump that nature gives. Medically, calf exercises help improve venous circulation, reducing the risk of swelling and blood clots, especially in older or sedentary people. It also helps improve stability of the ankle and knee joints, reducing the risk of falls, something I always consider a top priority in treating older adults. In addition, this exercise also activating sensory nerves in the feet, sending continuous signals to the brain, helping to increase balance and reflexes when moving. In other words, you are not only exercising your muscles, but also retraining them, the central controller of stability in the brain. When patients ask me, "How long does it take to see results, doctor?" I replied, "After just 10 days, if you persevere, you will feel your legs lighter, your steps more flexible, and when you stand up from a chair, you will find yourself more stable than before." That feeling is not magic. It is your body is awakening. By practicing this exercise every day, combined with deep breathing, you are sending a powerful message to your body. I still have the initiative. I still have the power. Now, I will guide you second exercise. The article I call Resurrection pose a gentle movement that can significantly improve posture, breathing, and upper body strength. Please follow, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Who wants to know more? Leave comment number 1. When it comes to strength in old age, most people think of the legs, but actually upper body health and posture is the foundation that keeps you steady, breathing deeply and confident in every movement. The second exercise that I want to share today is Resurrection Pose. One of the simplest ways to regain the upright posture, deep breathing, and energy that many people think they have lost. This exercise was born from a very simple observation. In my clinic at Yorkshire, I meet many elderly people who walk slightly stooped, shoulders slumped forward, and necks drawn down. When asked, they often laugh and say, "It must be because of old age, doctor." But no, it is the consequence of shortened chest muscles, still weakened back and shoulder muscles over time. When posture is slumped forward, the lungs no longer have room to expand, causing us shallow breathing, low oxygen, easily tired, and lose balance. That's why I teach them. Wall push, gentle push-ups against the wall. A simple movement, but can wake up almost the entire upper body. The way to do it is very simple. Stand about a foot away from a wall. Place your hands on the wall at shoulder height, fingers pointing up. Keep your body straight without arching your back. Take a deep breath, then slowly elbow bend to bring your chest closer to the wall. Stop when your nose is a few centimeters from the wall. Hold for 1 second, then exhale and push yourself back to the starting position. Repeat 8 to 12 times, slowly, feeling the stretch in your chest, shoulders, and arms. If you want to increase the difficulty, just move a little further away from the wall. When I guide Mr. Thomas, 66 years old, he complained of back pain and left shoulder pain when driving. We started with the revival pose every morning, just 10 times per session. 3 weeks later, he came back for a checkup with a big smile. "Doctor, I feel like I stand up straighter, breathe more deeply, and my neck is no longer stiff." There is no secret. It is just the result of activate the right muscle groups that have been sleeping. Medically, this exercise has a strong impact on pectoralis major, triceps, deltoids, and core. It not only increases strength, but also stimulate bone density, reduce the risk osteoporosis of the shoulder and arm, a common problem in older adults, especially postmenopausal women. Another great thing is that when you open your shoulders, chest and lungs have more room to move, help you take a deeper breath, improve blood circulation, and increase oxygen to the brain. I often tell my patients, every time you push against a wall, you are pushing back your age, because good posture not only makes you look younger, but it all affects mood. When your shoulders are open and your back is straight, your parasympathetic nervous system is activated, helping you relax and improve sleep. Some patients have even told me that after a few days of practice, they feel more alert in the morning without coffee. It's not an illusion, it's the body is provided with enough oxygen and better circulation. If you do this exercise regularly every day, after just 2 weeks, you will feel steady body, deep breathing, and more natural posture. It is a signal that the nervous system, muscles, and bones are working together again. Right now, I will show you third exercise, the song I call Independent Secrets. It is the real measure of the self-reliance of people after 60 years old. The Articles sit down, stand up with control, also known as sentadillas support. Please follow, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Who wants to know more? Leave comment number 1. When I tell my patients that the most important exercise of aging is not to be beautiful, but to maintain independence, they often look at me with curious eyes. And that is the content of today's article, Controlled Sit-Down and Stand-Up Exercises, or as I affectionately call it, Independent Secrets. I have met hundreds of people who have told me, "Doctor, I would be satisfied if I could just stand up from a chair without anyone helping me." A seemingly small saying, but behind it is a whole dream, autonomy and dignity. The ability to stand up and sit down seems simple, but it is the most natural total body strength test known to medicine. When you can do it gently, it means your body still has strength, balance, and control. This exercise is extremely simple, yet profoundly effective. How to do. Prepare a sturdy chair with a straight back, not too low. Stand in front of a chair with your feet shoulder-width apart and your arms out in front of you for balance. Take a deep breath, then slowly lower yourself down as if you were about to sit, until your butt just touches the chair, but don't sit down. Hold for 1 second, then exhale and stand up by the strength of the legs. Repeat 80 times, taking your time. Pay attention to each movement, each breath. I remember very clear Mrs. Margaret, 74 years old, used to have to hold onto the table every time she wanted to stand up. She was afraid to go out for fear of falling. When we started practicing, she was shaking from the very first time. I said, "It's okay, just add 1 more time each day." 2 months later, she walked into the clinic, smiled, and sat down in a chair without holding on to it. When she stood up, she said softly, "I can make myself tea again." And in right min, that moment made me understand that exercise isn't just about physical fitness, it's about regaining self-esteem. From a medical perspective, this sit-stand exercise activates the entire large muscle chain of the body: quadriceps, gluteus maximus, hamstrings, and core. These muscles are the pillars that help us walk, climb stairs, maintain balance, and protect the knee and hip joints from injury. When done regularly, just 10 minutes a day, this exercise increase bone density, improve blood circulation, and most importantly, training balance reflexes. Studies in the UK have shown that people over 65 who practice sit-stand exercises regularly have a 40% lower risk of falling. I always advise my patients, consider every time you get up from your chair an opportunity to practice. No need to wait until you put on your sneakers or turn on the music. Every little movement, when done consciously, helps you retrain the mind and body to coordinate more smoothly. And if you have knee or hip problems, use your hands lightly on your thighs for support or start with a higher chair. Gradually, you'll find yourself getting stronger without even realizing it. Once you master this move, you'll find life becomes easier, from standing up to make tea, stepping out into the garden, to feeling confident on your morning walk. Because real strength in old age is not in the muscles, but in the ability to continue doing the things you love without relying on anyone. I always tell my patients, the human body never really ages, it just needs to be reminded how to move. Every time you stand up, take a deep breath and balance yourself, you are sending a signal to millions of cells that says, "I still have power. I still have control over myself." Don't let age define what you can do. Let movement, perseverance, and belief define it. I want to thank you for being with me on this journey. If you've been practicing the exercises I've been teaching, calf activation, revival pose, and independence secret, you've laid the foundation for a stronger, more flexible, and more independent body every day. Please follow, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Who wants to know more? Leave comment number 1. And in the next video, I will reveal to you about spinal rehabilitation exercises, the secret to keeping your back strong and flexible at any age.